to document this on this day. I felt it was the only way. And so here I am sitting on the pot again today. And yeah, oops, got a little blood on no big deal. I mean, this is just a normal day in the world that I found within law. And what's curious about this is I just started bleeding again after experiencing 24 hours and in jail and handcuffs and reading a master fee schedule for an hour and a half to the Enoch police and Iron County sheriffs after the revocable living trust had already been provided to the Iron County sheriffs, at least so they were notified, and the Attorney General and Chief of Police of Cedar City and St. George and a bunch of folks in Washington and Iron County. They still are going by process. And what I realized about fear in adrenaline and cortisol and how it affects this body currently, I see how that manifests in life around me. And it's been very curious through this process of following the breadcrumbs of where they assumed guardianship and custody, and then they hypothecated and securitized and traded those pieces of a variance of the all caps name that was informed that that was who I am. And as I look at this, it's beautiful. To be able to know that at one point, because when I started bleeding this much and realizing that there are certain things that it's not that I'm incapable of doing. It was more of a soul your role, Trevor. Experience the flow of less life force or whatever it was, oxygen potential. Realizing that a quarter cup of blood is even an eighth every day. That's a decent amount of blood. And as the heart palpitations want to go and trigger another fear trauma loop, like the processes of a court, and to be able to know those processes and loop them up even before it happens. To realize, I found a place within my body where when I live that way, there is no blood. When the introduction of external stress and complete loss of, I'll say, control, expectations, there's that expectation that as a man who has stood in the world of dead zombie, lost at sea, minors, babies, lunatics, enemies of the state, paupers, mendicants, thieves, all to be the breadwinner in their circus, as a gladiator in their system. And to realize energetically, that's where they have me. Oh, wow. I just love looking at these every day. To see what art my asshole creates that's better than most. Moments that I'm able to do it consciously. If I sat down and attempted to, let's just look at this together. I see a man. I see a man who's flowing with fire behind it, and a watchful eye of a puppy to make sure the ball is always played with, so it never goes awry. So it's always contained, and it's always trusted to never look back on fire, to know that it will always be, and as infinite as they want me to think I am, eternal is all that I see. And as proof, I see this asshole print. And I'll continue to be with my thing, or whatever it is they wanted to believe. I'm no human monster in their game. And as I attune to knowing the administrative processes, that is, the trustee is the one to administer financial obligations and provide proper accounting, that I would rather bleed and create art and continue in this place of fear, knowing that there are waves without fear. And in those times, bleeding goes away. I'm able to jump, I'm able to move. And then when the waves or the timing, whatever it is, the pendulums, the barriers, the roadside bumpers on the bowling lane, when we're beyond speed and beyond the moment, where there's no ball and there's no court, there's no law, there's equity, trusteeship, guardianship, custodialship, suretyship, and to know truly how to thrive. When everything in this game is set to kill you. Set to kill me? Oh shit, let's personalize that. Oh wait, it's not personal, it's only business. And to stand on those words that have been documented in court. And in the state, and in the county, and with the commissioners. That every move I make, that I initiate and then I move into, due to the relentless audacity of a fiction and a corporation. And when I say fiction, obviously they think it's real. So whether real, presumed, or otherwise, it's an unnatural attachment. On my personal, private, godly estate, from fertilization to last breath, that's undue influence and a trespass. And to be able to know how it is for me to call in those open loops every day, to see where the way is, where there is closed loops. To be able to know where the heart subtly acknowledges the art in dying. Oh, it's as if there's a butterfly flying in front of it. I mean, it really is so beautiful. And to know I've always been an artist, and to arte the way. To be able to know stoicism and listen to a book about stoicism for the first time. To gnosis and to know cis. And I mean, who is cis? And I'm not talking cis trans, I'm talking sista. And if you don't know your sister, and you don't know that they've labeled her, labeled you? Wait. Oh shit. When you walk in and you document and you go talk to vital records, county, whoever that one is that knows about the birth certificates, and anyone who has ever birthed into their system or has a birth date, that birth date is associated to a female, not a woman, a female, Iron Man, because it's the blood. This is where it gets wild. So all of the birth certificates are feminine, are women. So it's our uterine sister. It's a identical twin, except for one space. In that one space, instead of our 46 chromosomes, has our mom's 46 chromosomes. And in her mom's 46 chromosomes, and our mom's 46 chromosomes, there's access to grandma's chromosomes, right? And to be able to connect with that level of feminine energy, of the Aya, Waska. To be able to know that sister. They've labeled it as black. So technically, if you assume the name, you're black and you're a woman. And in this race that we found ourselves in, my cousin her lineage is from Africa. So I didn't even know this race existed for quite a while. I just love them. I wanted to be taller than them and as fast as them. They're so smart. Actors, scientists, good God. And in such a non-jealous way, just, oh God, I'm so glad that you're alive and I know you. And that I look forward to being able to play. And at these moments where I stop and I pause and I go, open loops, here we are. All I see, near and far. But I am, but I'm not. It's just energy. And a fuck more than I see in this, God, it's beautiful. So in this place where somebody's sitting on the can and they're shitting blood and they're going into court tomorrow. Their car, oh, this is good, this game is set up to be able to have to choose your own adventure and know that adventure and be and play and go and, to see this. Some people travel the world, sell all of their things to seek adventure. Some it just finds, you know what I mean? Calls me out as a 2/4 splenic manifestor. Somebody's gonna call me out. And to be able to know that whatever it is that I'm learning. I remember when my aunt said, Trevor, you should be a lawyer. And I went, no, because I knew what shoulds were back then. And I'm questioning if she said ought now. You ought to be a lawyer. And she would, who knows. And to realize she was so close. I went to Thurgood Marshall College, outstanding senior, UCSD, my graduating class. I was off to medical school. What was I doing? Thurgood Marshall. Wow. To know that there are men and women who get railroaded by the system, and all I know is to art to the way. To art to the way. Oops. that happens. I mean, that's just, yeah. I don't know, am I still bleeding? Let's see. Oh, that's good. Oops, yeah, I guess I am. So, what'll be beautiful is I know the cycle and what to do. This cycle the first time it really happened, I was in bed for 6 months. And it required 9 months for me to be up and operational. That was, yeah, so when you saw me go from a finance guy to a not a finance guy, a crypto guy. Yeah, everything died. It was beautiful to walk through that. The next time walking through the opportunity of to have a space to provide ongoing Know this, attuning the autonomic nervous system to optimal, telling me attuning the trigger. That's it. The autonomic nervous system is optimal. It's just a program, grammar, grammari, wherever the spell book comes from. It's simply that program. And to know life without that program, and to walk into those places, and to know those spaces. And to consistently and persistently know the unknown. From fertilization to last breath, and to have it be a mystery. This is my story. There are many who are not realizing how to even shift from the victim, the artist. I mean, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Just that flowingness. Hey, is that a turtle down there? What is that? I mean, if it's shaking, if the camera is shaking, that's animals do it. FedEx guy comes by, barking, panting, shaking, right? And there's this place where if you're, at least this is what I find with them when I'm with animals, that there's this loop moment for them. And we're able to tune that with them. And then that energy expands through, especially if the one that ought to be the alpha is able to know that. And not only me, and I'm able to help them, and they get it, and they attune to it. It's beautiful as I've helped so many experience health and wellness and financial abundance. And I'm now realizing and looking into the absurdity and the tomfoolery of this all. And to realize how many would never come back from this moment. And they would die. They would sit here. The stress would take them out. And to know that I'm going to be hobbling a bit. Going to be utilizing frequency, energy medicine. Distilled water. Binders. Bentonite clay. Diatomaceous earth. Activated charcoal. To be able to know, since there is a significant amount of fat going, I mean, there's in a stressful time of adrenal fatigue, that it's got to get that from somewhere. It's got to burn fat. And to be able to attain that is, right? You go through the biological processes, and maybe I'll go through it later. It'll be fun together. And see where the processes that I've learned and help, instead of being in bed for 6 or 9 months, or 3 weeks, or 3 months, or 3 years, or 3 decades, who knows? To be able to experience in the most, I gotta say, could you imagine? Motorcycle got taken. Car, now the second one. No money. rock bottom, living in the same basement that you grew up in, with the father figure that you feared, only to become really good friends. Wow. Some days when I feel like shit, it's my cordialness and this pleasantry, like its disposition. Our relationship is 1,000 times better than it had been for the last 30 years. On a day such as this, where because sometimes when I stand up and I'm in this place, I don't think I'm coming back. I'll stand up and brace a wall. And I see those tunnels. I see those exit places. And for those who don't know what to do in that moment and they think that that's the only way. Because karma's a bitch. And if I don't choose it, and not that I don't acknowledge it, that's karma right there. That fire. That's a nice place for it. Because if it's coming for you, then you go for it. Oh, what a loop. What a program. And instead to help those realize who are really going through some fucked up shit, that I'm going to start, this is how wild this is. This is how lovely my life is. First, I got a flashcard set and that's also a game, like kind of like a word game where there's numbers and it's got a question and you tell what phase of the stage of lane of the 9 lanes that is in the legal proceedings. And there's a bonus round that helps you go from lane 1 to lane 9 where they just want to close it out. And to be able to offer that and be able to place that information out. Started placing this art. I would say that this piece of art with this attunement would be worth 1,000 fucking notes. Seriously? Yeah. Because I promise that this is worth this attunement of this blood, of this how shit do we tell them? Okay. So when you go back and you look at the placenta, go through etymology, it says cake, happy birthday, you're a lunatic in their book if you claim a birthday. Why? Because you're celebrating annum domini, not annum mundi. You start off at year 1, not at year 0. You abandon your first year in the womb. They claim maritime. Jesus talking about the fishers of men. Yeah. Go to the Aquarius, right? What is that? That's when you're in the time of the womb. Long story short, there's a bunch of pirates out there who connected with some witches, spellcraft, spelling. Just don't be stupid at this point. Know what fucking game you're playing and play it well. Don't look at the fire, right? Just don't be hypnotized by it. Know it's there and let it keep you warm. Cool times are coming. So in this place, it's a little different there. Well, since there's 92 chromosomes, 46 and 46 in this 1 inch place, give them an inch, they'll take a mile, and that's what they did. That place they call a tertium quid. A quid, yeah. Hey, quid, may I'll give you a 5 quid. Now they get that placenta 50,000 or 500,000 on the golden highway to fucking Rome, the Vatican. Cool. You know it. I know it. You've seen it. They put it right in front of your faces. And whether they are real vampires or not, somebody's drinking a lot of blood. There's a lot of people. The benefits, I mean, the stem cells that are in this, Jesus. The amount of stem cells that are in your piss that are basically not fermented, they just sit there for 21 days is inconceivable to most people. And this amount of blood right here, to save my own blood, to regenerate myself, I mean, it sounds wild. In reality, that's what they're doing. And to be able to know what they're regenerating, because we're here and who knows what else they've got over there. And to be able to know that there's an energetic availability between what they have on file and that book. Could you imagine if you had a book about you like Jesus, and it's all of your life and it's all of your record and it's everything, and that's what they believe and look at. And then there's who actually it is that you are. You're alive. They think you're dead. You're standing. They think you're lost at sea and abandoned. And they also think you're 0 to 1. Or year 1, right? This is 0 to 1, right? Because that's what you're celebrating. And to be able to energetically connect with that quantum entangled difference between the history and the mystery of my story of why I'm actually here, and what this energy is and what it actually does, and where they want you to experience, I mean, the covenant right at the beginning, they cut you in half. They cut off your arm because it's an appendage and it's in your upper half, so it'd be an arm, not a leg. Or maybe it'd be something else, who knows. And to be able to see that just gone. Because who knows, maybe we're all instead of supposed to have tails on the back of us, we got a whip in front of us and we're like Jesus and we're flipping over tables and we're fucking whipping people. I don't know. I mean, it's stupid, right? And the reality is that they got this in this game. We are a transmitting utility if we accept a birthday. They label us as a nigger slave woman. Yeah. I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care where you come from. And this is why I look at Merriam-Webster's, the definition of war. I look at the definition right under 2C is warless. It's a variance, odds sense, sensing the odds. That's a pretty cool sense to have. Some people won't look at this as art. Some people want this as a reality, and they're flowing, and that blood is whooshing through. Because those blood cells are moving on their own, baby. I mean, you take a drop of blood, you look at your own blood at a micro. What is it? It's moving. Get enough of that together, that energy. Negative 70 millivolts. And these electromagnetic toroidal fields, they're flowing, they're going. And that heart is a 7-valve system that is beating out the distress signal to where home is. Boop, 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 boop. Does anybody hear me? I heard me. I turn death, or so I see art as death. death as art. I see trauma. Oh, that's cool. It's like a constellation. I see Orion. And this moment of, call it psychosis, call it schizophrenia, fear whatever it is that you want about the unknown. What I love knowing is at any moment, next time anybody pulls me over, there's going to be a judge stamp on those documents saying don't fuck with me, and I will be fully funded, and I will be shitting art either way, to be able to know that if I didn't know who I was, I'd be dead a long time ago. Permanently. Because I've been dead multiple times. And I'm pretty sure there's many people who are ready for this last loop to last a long time. And when it's over, it's over. And this time around, since we know it is the last, it will be done in the manner that will not enslave anyone. For once we all have the knowledge of what is, and to gnosis the way, and to have that odd sense, we will see blood and realize, wow, that's something they ain't got. How valuable I really am. And to know why it is that, yeah, they want our piss, and they want our shit, and they want our blood, and they want our plasma, and they want our life source. They want our biometrics. They want our vision. They want our position. They want all of it, because you know what? The nothingness is easily seen when there is nothing. And when that hole that nothing could fill, and when nothing is found and something is, and nothing remains where nothing ought to be. It's easy to go about my day. It's easy to track the trust activities and to so much fun with responsibility to know as a child walking through heaven's gates into the eye of the needle, to be able to find that infinite slice of Swiss cheese moment where it, and then they're all that is. I remember when I was younger, all I wanted to do was play and have fun with all of these roles. This game is so fun to be set up. And I found my who I'm meant to be, and I'm an artist, a poet. I'm also a trustee. I'm a leader. I'm a man. I'm standing. I'm bleeding. I'm alive. I'm a friend. I'm a lover. I'm a helper. I know And to be able to place this where someone who's ready, who thought they were dying, to realize they've been dead for all of their life. And to be able to know that yes, there is a system. That they want us to go through. To be able to say, hey, I'm still alive. And you know, there's other versions of that, motherfuckers. So, when I mean motherfucker, I mean an ineffable motherfucker. Because if the zygote did not duplicate and replicate infinitely exponentially multiply for 6 days and then it rested, guys, that sounds like the work of God. 0 point energy and then rested. Oh yeah, my nature is rest. I'm here for the rest, the residue, and the remainder. There's nothing on REM. Watch it. Yeah, this is to you. So if you're a fucking prosecutor out there and you want this, I'm going to put a link down below so that you are able to see these flashcards. And if you want to purchase them, or the art, or you're able to find it, I would, to know that I'd be able to go to the treasury and unlawful money to lawful money. That's way better than money laundering through the cash-based systems of what you got going on at the whatever system. I mean, isn't it interesting that when I had to pay cash at the DA's office in Oregon and Medford, Jackson County, and then they take your cash when you get arrested and they give you a debit card back with fees. Oh my God, the conversion of that? That was all done under duress. And now to be able to choose how it is that I notify you publicly. Sure, I could put it in the newspaper. Let's be real. YouTube and Google are far more better options than a local paper. And chances are this is going to get in the news anyway, some way, somehow, fashion, or form. Is when people realize that direction that death is always chasing us. And when we allow it to illuminate us from behind and we realize that we are the scary monster that we were conditioned to be afraid of, that lurks in the dark, that's our energetic giant moving in front of us and calling out the way. And so, gosh, probably not. Who would actually be brave enough to know this about themselves? No, I've already helped enough fucking people with this video. And I'm going to go about my day. And I'm going to put those up on the website, selftrustacademy.com. And I'm just going to start putting out this art. And if there's a motherfucking prosecutor out there who realizes that they fucked up and they want to settle or whatever it is, then just go to Self Trust Academy. There'll be a forum probably where you can place in some information or whatever to do it on the DL, totally on the private, who knows. Or maybe you'll just email, trusty email. Yeah, that's actually going to be the way. Yeah. Yeah, well, they know where I am. Don't know what to do. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, it's at that moment when those voices are coming in, and it's not a delusion of grandeur, cunt. I know grandeur. And I know a grand jury indictment is required to even fuck with me next time. And there's always going to be systems, and there's always going to be models, and there's always going to be realized that I'm only one man. There's no revolution. There's no war. There's only me. Shitting blood, wiping my ass, putting it for sale, and making you all look like fucking fools. This tomfoolery it's ending. And yeah, there's going to be others that realize that they ain't your bitch ass nigga. Ain't no motherfucking slave no more. Your bitch ass nigga. Nope. To know who I am would require sight beyond the 0.0035% of the visual light spectrum, and where those are outside of the auditory spectrum as well. So one would be required to know without words. Animals get it. Children, they know. I'll just be sitting down with, I don't know these people. Their dog just will sit on my lap. I don't know these people. Their kids will just start climbing on my back and sitting around me. Like, what? I don't know you. I'm having this very focused conversation with your father right now. Will you be mindful of your strength while you're climbing on my back? I know I'm a mountain. Listen, if you get on the top and it starts to wobble, just be easy, okay? You don't want tumbling down. And to be at this place where I know me. And in any days when are weak, I'm not sure how many people could bleed out for a week or a month or months and still go on. So I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of. And what I love is knowing that whoever finds this information, simply attuning it with a map of consciousness in their own heart and knowing love is a fucking transmitting utility zone. And to be able to focus on what is and be an ineffability, motherfucker. Because if that blastocyst from the morula, fuck you, cunt. And morula, what is? And that blastocyst, it made an agreement and it embedded, it implanted, it agreed. It welcomed each other. It was pure love. And that, no. Beyond. They say authenticity is 4,000 times more powerful than love. Well, what is authentic? So that authenticity, that is ineffability, that was a motherfucker, that is alive, and instead of being an abortion and having Noah's Ark, twos and twos, go through the flood and being a part of their story and part of their Bible and swearing to it. I don't swear, I'll affirm, I'll tell you, I'll provide you what's true. I give you facts and evidence and a man or woman who did witness, sure. I can't swear. As an ineffable motherfucker who's standing and is about to post this online. So, you've been warned. It's fair to warn. Your court's gonna be a mockery. And you're gonna be, you're gonna be let a fool. So, any prosecutor in Utah, any prosecutor in Oregon, Any federal prosecutor? What harm have I done? What wrong have I done? I acknowledge the code exists, and I'm unsure how it applies. And it has not been showed how it applies to the trust. And I always show in trustee capacity there's fiduciary duties to be done and accounting to be performed. And we're going to find all the places where conversion and proceeds and liquidation, did all that cash go? Did it go to any external organization? I know internal bookkeeping is really fun, hypothecating and securitizing and all that stuff. And when it comes to open trading, I get that. And then when there's dividends, I mean, fucking, there's no such thing as a free lunch. So, we'll be looking everywhere. And everyone who knows this also will be also looking everywhere. And they'll have all the resources. And so, with that, any prosecutors, and when those police and sheriff realize that it's time to sit down and you've been bad. I actually will not be able to do what you do. So I'll point that actually at me. Truly, I would rather point the gun at myself. I'd rather fall on the tiny sword. I'd rather be the one to go. And I've attempted so many times and still I'm here. So I'm going to make the best of this one. I know I'm going to be around here for a really long time. And I know when I'm done bleeding out, then I'm going to be back in action. And I know by saying this, I'll be able to, and by posting this, my body, just by the sheer fact of, there's no transmuting. There's nothing that's, all I know is attuning. All I know is what it is that I'm meant to be here for. And what's beautiful in this moment is that when this court stuff is done, when the taxes are done, when all has been accounted for, and the realization of all those who realize that, yeah, they did have their hand in the cookie jar, and that is a fucking hot potato, and oh boy. Is there hell to be paid, and will their sacrificial oaths be due? Oh, it's not my business, nothing personal, and there's so many more opportunities to claim innocence along the way. Since we've all been programmed, all I see is innocence for anyone. I mean, it goes back to 16 generations. That's 65,536 ancestors. And to be able to be at this place, to still see innocence for myself and others around, and what that does on the map of consciousness for David or Hawkins, what is, all I see is innocence. There's no forgiveness. There's nothing wrong, nothing to judge. There's no place for the prosecutor. So get the fuck out of here. There's trustee work to do. I require all identifiers, all accounting, everything. QSIP, IRS, IRIS, CRIS numbers, ABA routing numbers. ABA routing numbers? All the identifiers. Oh, I know. Get that audit team on it. They'll be notified real soon. And yeah, everybody's coming down. Bye-bye.